Hey, howdy, hey, everybody. Wild West Dan here. I actually wanted to do it this way. I did that wrong. And how is it going? We are back on the Monkey Minds creative server to do some actual designing together. Hey, howdy, hey, y'all. Editor Dan here, just to quickly come in and talk about how I recorded this really early in the morning and I could not remember the term landscaping versus terraforming, and so I get this wrong like a whole bunch of times in the beginning of this episode, so just ignore that and pretend I'm smarter than I actually am. Right, okay, bye. So this project has two parts. It has the design process here in the creative world, and then the construction process in the survival world, which involves, you know, getting all the materials and everything like that and working it all together. So let's talk a little bit about how we're designing this. So basically, everything outside of the moat, I'm just making flat, one block down from where I will eventually need to build ground and floor and things, because most of Walt Disney World is actually pretty flat on purpose. Everything inside the moat here, we're landscaping, we're decorating, we're what's it called, gardening, that's not the word, and just making it look better and correct. So everywhere there's grass in Walt Disney World, we're actually using moss blocks, and I can turn off this, I have a light level overlay here because that's going to be the last thing we do. I was doing a little bit up in the front there this morning. And so I basically I start with some video. So let's take a look at that. All right, so here we have some video that I took with what I call my Faux Pro little mini camera here. Basically just looking at all of this area here, all the gardens, the landscaping, the shape of things, the height of things, right? And to give you an idea of where we are right now, because this is always a pain. Over there is Crystal Palace. We just passed a little snack stand. So if I go into Affinity Designer here, Crystal Palace is down here. The little snack stand we're standing right next to is right there. So we're standing right around here looking this way. Okay, so that's to give you an idea of where we are. And I just kind of walk around and I look at what, you know, the shape of this, you know, it's flat here and then it starts to go down right there. You can see it start to go down right there. And we're going to see that a little bit more as we come around to this side here. So as much as I can, turn right, Dan, turn right there. Oh, you didn't turn right enough, but that's okay. You can kind of get the idea down there. It's a little dark. But it's going to go, you know, obviously it has to make its way down anyway. So it's really just a question of looking at right next to the path. How high is it? Does it stay flat for a while or does it steeply drop off? And these are the kinds of things that we basically spend our time looking at. While I was there, I probably spent about 2 hours or so doing this, just walking around the hub. And I'm going to do another pass when I go back later this month. Which I've never gone this close together. I'm very excited. Specifically looking at the trees and the bushes in the center of the hub because I didn't get a lot of that. So this here, this part's done, I think. Hold on. Is that part done? Where are we? That part's not done. Okay, so that part we're also looking at right now. So this is kind of how it works, right? I see here I got some bark mulch. I'm going to take the bark mulch from these paths and kind of like this is bark mulch here, and you can see I started tracing some out over here, but mostly I just want to get the shape in first, just all in grass, quote unquote, or moss blocks, and then I'm going to do a second pass and bring in some of the podzol and stuff. This is all my bark mulch, right? So basically I'm just going to come through and do this. So let's take a look at how we do this. I'm just going to quietly slide Lily Pants Fuzzbottom the third of the Massachusetts Fuzzbottoms away from my keyboard slightly. I'm going to put my hand under your tail. Okay, this is welcome to Minecraft with Dan. If you've been on my streams, you've actually seen Lily just jump up on my keyboard. So the way I like to do it is I took a look. I have an idea of how high it is. Most of it's going to start pretty high. There's a little bit of a low spot over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bust all this out here. Right, I'm going to come down here and make this the area here, and I'm going to get rid of that and that. I'm going to do another pass. I just did a little bit coming underneath all of the stair blocks and just removing, not that one, all of the terracotta under here, because there are hundreds of stacks of stairs, and if I try to put terracotta under all of them, I'm gonna really hate myself later. Down here, there's gonna be a building here, and I haven't worked out how that building looks yet, so I'm just gonna do something like this and just fill this section in flat and square for the moment. Okay, so then I come in and we have world edit on the server, so I'm gonna do a / fill moss block, and I just do like a large area. It's gonna fill it at your feet. So the trick is you got to get at the right height, but if you're too low, it's going to fill in down here, and then it's going to be a big mess. But generally speaking, let's bring this out to about here. This is how all of my terraforming goes. And I don't know if this is the right way to do it or if there's a better way to do it. But normally I'll start at the top, but because we got this big square right here, I kind of want to make this look natural-ish. And again, I've talked about this on my streams. If you want to follow me, twitch.tv/WildWestDan, same name. I have the advantage here of I can make it look not perfectly terraformed, because that was bad. Because this is actually a man-made landscape. This isn't a natural landscape that was, you know, just found in the world. Florida is a swamp. And they dug it out and they filled it in and they did what they wanted to with it. I'm just going to bust a hole right here just for a second so I can stand here and do that same fill. Good. One hole right here. So this is going to be level 2. Like I said, normally I do level 1 first. And we're just going to shave a little bit here. I wasn't happy with this. And this is how I just go back and do it. And I don't, you know, I just try and get it somewhat natural-ish. So now I have one layer. So I'm just going to come around and I'm going to trace that layer 1 block higher, normally lower. And I don't care about any extra blocks I place on that side. I can have as many missed blocks as I want, as long as I don't put one on top. The goal is no doubling up on any blocks, because then I have to collect more moss, or whatever block it is. So the whole entire underside here, as much as possible, we're going to keep it completely air only. And then when we move it over to the rest of the world, we will have a nice little, you know, we'll have regular terrain underneath it, and that will sort of work itself out. All right, so we're gonna do that. Let's fill this area in here. Bless you, lily pants. Okay, and see, now that is what happens when you're too high. So we have an undo, which is lovely. No, I didn't want to undo again. Redo. My bad. Up arrow mistake. Oh, dang it. Wrong one again. Right there. And there we go. Okay, good. Cool. My hands are on the wrong part of the keyboard too, because I got a cat sitting on my arm. Yeah, I'm talking about you. You adorable kitten. I don't have a camera set up for her, so you just have to tune into the streams to catch that. So this is basically the way that I do the whole thing. And I don't know if this is actually, no, this part's not going to stay. Hang on, doing this wrong. This is a double access hill, which makes it a little more complicated. But normally what I would do is I would take like this right here, and we're going to make this, I'm just going to do this in a straight line as we go down. And then we'll fill that in like that, and then bust out the extra blocks, because again, I don't want to do too much. So I have one line here. So then what I'll do is I'll come around here and I'll make this sort of a hill, kind of following this curve a little bit here and there. Again, I don't care about anything that happens on the left. It's really just the right. And just kind of natural-ish, but also unnatural, as much as I can. Just trying to make it. I just don't want it to be, you know, symmetrical or have like a real pattern that anybody can really point at and be like, well, that's obviously completely man-made. It is, yes, but I want it to look nice as well. So this area is pretty flat a lot of the way around. And again, some of this will change to podzol later. So I just kind of look around, look at the top of my hill, look at the bottom of my hill where the moat is, and then kind of make my way in and out and in and out, and just see if that works. So we're gonna come back here, meet up with that, and those will all be the same thing. So let's stand here, fill that in. And there's the top layer, including this almost completely symmetrical semicircle, which is fine. So then I'll come over here, down to the next row. And again, fill this in. So let me fill this in real quick, and I will come right back. Okay, so we have the top part of this row done, and then I could start from either side, but I'm gonna come over here because I already have this curve sort of worked out here. So then I come in here, we do the exact same thing that we were just doing. We just come around and kind of follow, and sometimes I'll go a little further out, sometimes I'll go a little closer in, just to see what feels better, kind of watching the shoreline on my left there as we get closer and then further, and then maybe I'll even come back over a little bit and then work my way back. And it's completely subjective as to how it's going to work. Is it, too high in places? Is it too low in places? I think here I'm going to take that out and just work my way back to there. Then we'll come over here and we'll fill this part in. I think I'm too high. Nope, I'm okay. And then we got a couple of holes here because we're a little thin in this row. So then we do this. And then if I have to, I will come back at the very end, or even as I'm trying to build the next layer, and just kind of adjust it so that it is looking good. I'll trim a little bit off one row or add a little bit to one row, and just make it so that it looks natural and it fits. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to do this part last, and that's going to go under the bridge to the next section. So just looking at this really quick, we could be coming down a little bit faster. So I might shave some of this back and show some of this back later. But we'll see. And I should do this side as well. I kind of have it over here with this guy. So this definitely wants to be surrounded by that. And then we'll put this here. And we'll do one, put one here, and that's the curve for this section. We'll just fill this in. And again, I'm ignoring the fact that this is half podzol and half moss. Eventually this whole section is going to be podzol apparently. Yeah, that'll work. Yeah, so I just basically have to make that side and that side meet up, and I'm going to go ahead and do that, and maybe let's do a time lapse because we can. And let's take a look when I'm done. I'll do a quick time lapse. Be right back. Okay, option B is replay mod doesn't work, and let's just cut back to when it's already done. Oopsie. All right, let's take a look at this through the whole thing here. It looks like we are actually done all the way around the entire moat. Over here, that's on the way to Frontierland. Over here is Adventureland. This, I'm sorry, Liberty Square, sorry. This area has a lot more done on this side. This is the only section that does because of the castle back there. This part's built on Monkey Mines on the survival server, but some of that was podzol and none of it is on the main server. Over here, we got some waterfalls going to Tomorrowland. That's all that I'm doing over there. And then I stop here. But then we got all the moat over here. We got the island over here. underneath the Tomorrowland bridge. All the way back to the beginning. And anywhere you see these, every so often you'll see a little stump somewhere. That indicates that's a tree that Dan needs to build still. And I have some of them marked out. But that right there finishes up the entire landscaping for the whole hub. The entire phase 2 landscaping is done. That's awesome. I'm so excited. All right. I have no idea what I'm doing next. Hey, howdy, hey, Wild West Dan here, and I'm just interrupting this episode for one brief moment to talk about Extra Life. So I have been raising money for Extra Life through my streams for 6 years now. This is one of the shirts from one of the previous campaigns, and we have raised as a community over $10,000. We got this challenge coin. I don't know if you can even read this, but it says change kids' health, change the future, and it says $10,000 raised. This is a lifetime achievement coin, which I keep on my desk, unlike everything else that I keep behind me. That one I like to look at, and that is because of the wonderful community that I have. We last year raised for Boston Children's Hospital $410,000 total as a group, and this year our goal is to play our way to $500K for Extra Life. Now, my goal is, as you can see on the screen, is only $3,500. I actually forgot, I had to look. So far for Boston Children's total, we are at $72,044.27 as of our last update from the hospital. But we got this. We're not worried yet. It's very, very early. So to be, it's almost $75,000 before game day. That's great news. And game day is November 5th. This year, so I'm going to be doing a 24-hour stream on November 5th, and it's going to be a ton of fun. This year, all the money that we raise specifically for Boston Children's is going towards their Every Child Fund. This is a fund that they're using right now to purchase gaming systems and pay staff to help kids mentally, help them have a better time in the hospital, because it's not enough to just treat whatever's wrong with the kids. We also have to treat the mental health also. With COVID and everything that's going on in hospitals, the kids can't even leave the rooms. They can't congregate. They can't play. They can't be kids. And it's not an incredibly fun place to be for them like it usually is. So one of the things that they're doing is they're doing music therapy. They're doing therapy dogs. They're doing gaming systems that they have staff members bring to their rooms and just sit and play games with them. And it's helped a lot. We've had kids that have gone from completely unresponsive, wouldn't talk to a doctor, wouldn't do anything, wouldn't do their physical therapy, to playing games with these staff members that we're helping to fund. And then they would start to be responsive. They'd start to do their treatments, or they'd be playing games up with the VR sim and they'd be doing their therapy and not know it. So it's really, really important always to raise money for Extra Life for Boston Children's Hospital, but right now specifically is a very, very important time. If any of you can donate, my link specifically is extralife.wwdan.tv. I thought I said that wrong. extralife.wwdan.tv. It's on screen probably. If you could take a moment and make a donation, no matter how small, it will actually go on our wall of heads that we have. If you have a player name, let me know what the player name is, and I'll add it to our list. Otherwise, I'll just add your name with the Minecraft Steve head. But yeah, it's really important to me. I'll tell you why sometime. But if you can make a donation, great. If not, share the link and or share the video. But anyway. Thanks for that. Back to our regularly scheduled programming, already in progress. There are some random things about this build that you may not notice at first glance. That's the phrase. First of all, there's like random floating bits and things in places, and there's some command blocks. So let's take a look at what this is. So we're using a mod. It's a client-side mod called Litematica. And what it is it's a schematic builder. So I've got this guy right here, and I click on this, and is it this one that I click on? I think it's this one. It's gonna jump me, yeah, it's gonna jump me up here, up in the sky, over to this corner, there it is, to the other corner. And I can grab my stick, and I can click it with the stick. And now I've got the 2 corners of my area. So I have this entire area, not including the sea lanterns, including the, no, not including the sea lanterns. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come and I'm going to stand over on the bridge of the castle right here. And you'll see there's some blocks here that are like those blocks don't match the other blocks in the previous schematic. I just changed all these lights out this morning as well from, they were sea lanterns and they're frog lights now. I really like that. So I'm going to stand on this piece of stained glass. This won't stay here forever. I don't think it might. I don't know. It's got a beacon in it right now with, I believe, jump boost. I don't remember. Maybe it's haste. They go back and forth constantly. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the Litematica page, look at area editor. We're going to go Castle Hub. I don't remember exactly what we called this. I'm going to move to player, which I already was. That's good. We're going to save the schematic. You can see I have a ton of schematics. And what I want to do is where is Hub Castle? Oh, it's Hub Castle, of course. And then over here, I'm going to hold shift and I'm going to overwrite it. Now, it won't let me do the whole thing because I don't have the whole area loaded. So down in the bottom, well, you can't see it. I can't point at it, but down in the bottom, you see where it says saving schematic. So I'm going to just fly around here and I have to load some chunks. So we're just going to fly around in all the areas. This is the part that's not the part we just did. That's the part we did yesterday on stream. And as we get to the far corners, usually this corner over here is the last one. Yeah, there we go. It's getting smaller. It's getting smaller. There we go. Now we've loaded everything. So all of the areas are loaded. Perfect. So now that we have that, let's go ahead and server survival. I don't know where I am in the survival server right now. Let's find out together. I am right here and it's nighttime. Okay. That's fine. We're going to run up over here. Nighttime's not too scary around here. The chances of something spawning are very slim. I've got most everything lit up pretty well. And I can get rid of a lot of these sea lanterns now that 1.19 changed the lighting requirements. And a lot of this stuff in here is all gone. So let's grab our schematic. We're going to look at, I already have it placed, so we're just going to configure it and we're going to reset all subregions. Bam. All right, and now it's going to yell at me about a bunch of things. It's going to yell at me about all of those are now mud bricks and packed mud. There's texture in the walls. All of the deep slate is wrong. All of these are wrong, except for that one. And, you know, the rest of the area. This is, I forget why. I don't remember if this is smooth slabs or... yeah, in the schematic, it's smooth sandstone slabs. In the client, it's just sandstone slabs. So I got to go fix that in the schematic because it's annoying. But yeah, you can see here, if I'm going to use my free cam, which for some reason I'm invisible in free cam now. I'm not sure why. You can see we've got all the areas that we've worked out. Some of it we're still going to have to dig away, which I would actually prefer instead of building up in the air, because then I got to light everything else up underneath it. But yeah, you can see all the areas that we're going to be building here. And yeah, so the build is a weird combination of creative mode, which I know a lot of YouTubers don't really show, but I'm going to absolutely show both sides of the creative mode and the building through here as well. This area is not really loaded, and free cam doesn't load. But I'm gonna kind of do it all together and, you know, make it all a part of the journey, because I want to do both parts, and both parts take so tremendously long. In order to show any progress at all, we're going to be doing some designing in creative mode. We're going to be doing some, look, there's a big rock. We're going to be doing some building in survival. We're going to do some farms in survival to get the things that we need, and just make it all a journey. Hello. That's interesting. Apparently that's solid on the other side. I have a secret door in here. Nope. I have a secret door in here. Hee. Secret tunnel. Let me turn this off. That I can go through if I get stuck in the water just by clicking that button. Anyway, that being said, I think we're gonna call it here at an episode, and apparently we're gonna do it at nighttime again because that's what we do regularly. I don't know why. But thank you all for watching. Hope you had a blast. Love you all, and we will be back for the next episode. Wild West.